Hey, what's up everyone? Today we have a Honda GCV160. It's on a Craftsman pressure washer. It says it's a 2600 psi, 2.3 gallons per minute. And I know nothing about it except I looked for oil, and there is oil. It's dirty. There is oil. The gas cap is, I don't think, was put on very good. There's gas. Okay, there we go. But this one came from a person who I just fixed another one for, that all I needed was a pump. I doubt that's all that this needs. I mean, at the very least, we are going to be needing to figure out if that's happening right there. That's not too hard though. So you can pull? Yeah. I say let's give it a pull first, because the last time all I had to do was replace the pump. And, you know, maybe we'll get lucky. I don't think so, considering that there's rust on the valve cover. It's kind of odd. That usually means it's been sitting for a long time. So let me put you up, I'll give it a pull, and we'll see what we can do. Both the air filter and the housing is pretty clean. Took that off. So that's at least good. Let's give it a pull. So as you can tell, it only ran on choke. So I'm sure there's going to be someone out there saying you shouldn't run the pump dry. And yes, that's true. You shouldn't run the pump dry for very long. Let me explain. I used to work with a guy who had his own little business. I never personally worked for him because, well, I'll just say I don't really like him. But he had this, his little small engine shop, and he would literally run these for about 10 or 15 minutes dry in the back to make sure everything was okay, and not a single time was there a problem. At least that's what he told me. And looking at it, it does make sense. There is oil in there. It's lubricated. Is it good for the seals? That could be debated. But let's try it again. This isn't going to work, but let's at least try putting the filter on. Ever have that moment when you're 99% sure you were on choke, but maybe you're having a brain moment? That was me having a brain moment. I am on choke. So I don't know if the fact that maybe the fuel in there was just a little nasty and it kind of burned it, and now better fuel, because when I open the tank, I can usually get a good whiff. If it's bad, if anyone's ever smelled bad gas before, you can tell pretty quickly. I didn't really smell that. So maybe there's new fuel in here and what we have is a dirty pump. If it starts with no choke and doesn't surge for more than 2 seconds while it's kind of gathering itself, I think we might put a hose on there and give it a try outside. Helps if you turn it on. Not this one though. So what do we deduce from this? I think it will run. I mean, obviously. I think it still needs to at least have the bowl taken off and cleaned. So I'm going to do that. And then, actually I'm going to test it outside. Let's do that. So when checking an unfamiliar pump or a not used pump or hose for a long time, there could be a lot of just debris in there. Take out your tip first and let it run for a good 30 seconds. Right now I have a 40-degree tip. I'm going to put a 25. This might be a pretty short video. Right now, the only thing I really see wrong is it needs a tune-up, and the pull cord adjusted. Unfortunately, when looking at what we have here, we are missing one of the dogs. But we're going to move forward because I do have another one, and I want to show how to stop that from happening. I have a broken one. I just have to take the actual piece out. I have a feeling this might be common for this one because look how long that is. It's not too common. We'll cut that off to be a little more flush. But anyway, so how I like to do it is like this. It's arguably probably not the easiest way. So you extend it all the way. Then you give this a little pull. A decent amount. Then you tighten it one more time around. That way. Now, we pull this straight again. So now it's still straight. Hopefully, if we did it right, it should retract all of it. And voila. The string doesn't look old, but also doesn't really seem like it's the stock one. And the fact that it's missing a dog too kind of tells me there might be someone here. And this plastic kind of looks a little newer. But anyway, if your Honda does that, pretty much just works on majority Hondas, especially the GCV engines. But you can do that. It should retract it just fine. I mean, look at that. It's not even like the ones that get stuck like right there, and you're like, fine, that's okay. Nothing's in there. Okay, there you go. So that's how you repair that. So I'm gonna put it back on. We should be set. Considering the fact that it runs pretty good, and I just changed the oil, put a new plug in there. The filter was fine, so I didn't bother to change that. Now the recoil is retracting enough, so there's no extra line. So that's good. I put a new dog in there, like I said, so it should be fine. Other than that, that's really about it. So I think this video is more or less going to be showing you how to, if you have a little extra cord or line coming out of your recoil and never really wants to fully retract, that's how you do it. But let's give it a pull just so you can see that it's not just like a one-time thing. So, as you can tell, it's working pretty good. I don't know how much of the pressure washing I'll show, but I was washing for a good couple minutes, and there's no problem here. It's very acceptable in my opinion. It's for the worst of wear, but it's acceptable. I will say the reason why I was doing it for a little bit longer than I intended was I thought that the pressure might have been a little low, but then I looked and it is 2600 at 2.3 gallons per minute. For whatever reason, I thought it was 31 at 2.5, and that's a big difference. So I was expecting 31 at 2.5, and when I looked at it, I noticed that it was a lot less, which makes sense. I mean, that's 500 psi and 0.2 gallons less. So other than that, we should be good to go. If you like what you see, subscribe. Definitely put a thumbs up if you like it. Have any questions, leave a comment below. Catch you in the next video.